Hi, today we're going to be doing an activity called How to Make Your Own Fossil. I have this activity included in a unit where it talks about how animals change over time, and the lesson focuses on habitats and environmental change. So they're using fossils to determine what the environment was like prior to what it is today. So they use the fossil record to see what types of animals live there to determine the habitat. So the activity today we're going to do is make your own fossil. So there are some materials that you'll need to do this. It's pretty easy to do. You will need pictures of fossils. So you can use the article that I have. It's from News ELA and it's called Earth Systems, What Are Fossils? So there's some pictures there. I'm just going to kind of zoom in to see what that looks like. So you have pictures of fossils, and then you will need clay. So I have clay right here. You can buy that online, or you can go to an art store and get that. So I have 2 pieces of clay rolled in a ball. So each student would get 2 of those. And then each student will have a piece of wax paper. So you will get some wax paper, so you can get that at the grocery store or online, easy to get. And then each student will get a piece of the wax paper. They're 2 pieces of clay. And then you're gonna need a bone. So here I have a dried chicken bone, which we just had in our house. So I cleaned it and then washed it and dried it. Took a couple days to do that. So a good time to do this project would probably be after Thanksgiving. Students might have a lot of extra turkey bones, so you could try to do this early December. And also a good time to get leaves. So you'll need leaves, so you can gather those in your backyard, because we're going to make 2 kinds of fossils, both one that's made out of bone and then the one out of leaves. So each student will need one of a bone and a leaf, and then you'll have your students flatten. So they'll take their ball of clay and then they're going to use the heel of their hand and they're going to flatten it right into a complete flat oval. They can make it into a square or oval shape. So here's what it looks like when it's been flattened out. So they'll need 2 of those. So each student will do that. I think it's fun just to play with the clay, but make sure that you're keeping an eye and that they're just making the oval. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your bone, and then the student will press the bone into the piece of clay. So you're just going to press down, right, like this. So it'll be into the clay, and I'm going to put it down here so I can press it in. And it should be pressed in enough to where it's actually inside the clay, like this. And then you put that aside, press that down, and then you're going to take your leaf and you will press that into your clay oval. So I'm just going to press down. So you want to tell the students to gently press the leaf in because it's a little fragile and you don't want it to break. And also try when you're pressing to just press on the leaf and not around the edges of the clay so that you don't get fingerprints all over it and it still looks kind of nice. That way when they're dry, students can take them home. They can paint them, give them to their parents. So here's what it looks like this. So it'll be pressed in there. So then what you're going to want to do is have your students put them all on a large tray on wax paper, and then you're going to find a heavy object and place that over the top. What I did at home is I used a frying pan and put that over it, but you could use books, whatever you have in the classroom. and then leave it overnight, and then the next day you can take that off. And it probably takes about maybe like 3 or 4 days to a week for the clay to actually dry. So I have 2 that I've made, so I will show you what they look like. Here's the leaf one that I did about 4 days ago. So it's pretty much almost dry, and you can see the imprint that it left. So it looks like a real fossil would. And then here's what the bone one looks like. Right, so this can be similar to what they might find outside. If you were, searching through rocks, and you might discover a fossil, right? And then it would look, you might have a fish fossil where the fish was on the bottom of the river or ocean and it pressed into the sand and clay. You might have a mold or a cast that looks like this. So you can show your students that. So basically that's it for the activity. And then once they're dry, the students you could paint them if you had paint at your school. You could paint over them or have the students take them home. They could give them as like a Christmas gift to their family. But it's a great fun project, and it shouldn't take more than probably 10 to 15 minutes for the actual making of the clay piece. And then if you're interested, you can, I have videos attached to my lesson plan that you could show. And then there's the News ELA article that could go along with it. The Earth Systems, What Are Fossils? So that's a good piece to give with that as well. And that's it. Thank you very much.